Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a potent one. That's something you're gonna have to watch out for on MG.Trust. I mean, Tide is tanky, but we see Tide struggle in the first 3 levels sometimes. This is a duo that can get that done. It also sort of preempts. No, I mean MG.Trust banned out the Morphling themselves. Maybe it preempts something like, say, a CK. Not gonna be able to get something like that into AA. It's a bit of a challenge. What do they want here, MG.Trust? They could maybe play Illusions again. You still have a little bit of an issue here for Boom in clearing out illusion-based heroes. So maybe Jackie might want the PL once more. It's a possibility, but again, I just want Jackie to be in something a bit faster. Like it
Yeah, I
took
mean
a bit too long, right?
the PL it just feels so lackluster, and it comes out again. All right, it's just you get the
Yeah.
defusal, you're not ready yet. You got to get something else. You get the SNY, then you start fighting, maybe a little bit, but then you've got
Hmm.
to go for the next item. You know, you might go for one quick team fight, but then it's off to get the Eye of Skadi. You might need a defensive item, so you might have to work towards a Satan. It's just such a slow
Mm-hmm.
process. Whereas you
It
look at
is. It
Dreamer
is.
Soul CK, he might get a Midas early on, which he generally
Mm.
does, but after that Midas, that first core item that comes up, he's fighting. He's
Mm.
getting involved. He's not needing to sit back and farm forever. The
Yeah.
Well, I like the PL, and obviously Jackie does play a very, very good PL. It just doesn't feel very strong.
No. The one thing it has going here is you don't have to worry about the tide. You're not gonna have to face up against that anchor smash. So there's that. I think Boom has enough space here to really pick like a mid that might be able to punish if they don't go for that Mikado Batrider. So they do have last pick as well. They're gonna have to show their hand first here, MG.Trust, which might work against them. Boom. They just have that flexibility because Batrider can be played by Mikado or FBZ. It doesn't lock them in, and they can look for a way to really start to answer the PL question. For example, the Ember Spirit's kind of left alone here. If Motivate.Trust don't pick it up, I can see Boom just going for that with the offlane bat. And that's one way to deal with the PL illusions, just go for that Ember.
I mean, the offlane Batrider would just dominate the PL. Like, yeah, you get
Mm,
Doppelganger, but that's just it's such a low cooldown at level 1. You don't want to max it early on. You want the Lance,
mm.
you want the Rush. So they definitely may as well just go for that offlane bat. We'll see what they do decide on. Still Motivate.Trust, their last pick up now. They will have 30 seconds to make this decision. And they won't need that 30 seconds because they're going into an Invoker.
Ooh.
Interesting.
The Fearless Invoker. I feel like we've seen it come out. Now I can't quite remember the result off the top of my head. That was, yeah, it did come out yesterday, but they had the Void. So they were playing with that Cataclysm. You don't have that setup here. You do have Ravage to set up with Cataclysm. Not as easy, but you can line it up. My issue here, Fearless might have some trouble mid. We'll see what Boom does bring out. Combination isn't as clean as Chrono. Chrono's just so much easier to land, and Boom, Pangolier actually coming out here. So okay, Mikado Bat once more. FBZ Pango. Gonna be interesting to see that unfold. There's a little bit of a faster timing here from Boom, so they've really got to play that fast game. You can't allow MG.Trust to do what you just did in game one. You don't want Masaros to be big here. You don't want Fearless to have the Ags. You have to shut these heroes down before it becomes an issue.
It's going to be an interesting match. Now this one pans out, John. This is the last one of the day. Boom would
Mm.
love to finish off 2-0 if they can. Motivate.Trust, just trying to get a draw if they can afford to. Still helps them out as they are sitting in the middle of the pack right now in terms of their groups. Motivate actually has been getting a lot of draws. Currently sitting on 3 throughout these group stages so far. 3 out of 5 draws. So
Mm.
I guess they wouldn't really mind another one. They still do help in terms of points.
Yep. Yep. It's not the worst, but it is definitely better than his loss here. So I'm gonna have to bring that fight to Boom. Um, hmm. I still wonder just how much Fearless can push that Invoker now. Again, when they did run it, they had the Faceless Void safe. So it was that standard Cataclysm play, Alacrity play. not as straightforward with the Tide, especially since BKB is just going to ruin you. So the BKB, if you get it fast here on the course, Ravage won't do much. That's something for MG.Trust to be aware of as well. And we'll see how much he can push out. Fearless does perform on the Invoker, just landing that combo with Masaros. And Masaros, for his part, the item buildup, what he opts for, is he going to go for the kind of build FBZ went for? Are we going to see the more standard, Guardian Greaves sort of build up? It depends. It's up in the air, and that's going to dictate how MG.Trust plays.
Yep. Now this one pans out. Got that damn Tidehunter cosmetic again.
Masaros loves it though.
Oh, got a DC though, FBZ. Does reconnect, and yeah, you can love that from Boom Esports, John. They don't even pause. They're just like, he'll be fine. He'll reconnect. Don't worry about it.
Yep. Just a quick one. Just to, check the net still. We've got to see what they bring out here, MG.Trust. They're not going for that favorite smoke play they love to go for. So no early aggression, but Boom are still sort of preempting it, right? They love standing in this ramp to punish. Not going to find anyone to punish this time around.
See how FBZ does deal with this this Jackie peel. I mean, the swashbuckle does make it quite easy to get through illusions. And of course, the lucky shot disarm is going to be a little bit frustrating here for Jackie in the laning phase, but right, I believe the peel should still have a decent enough time. Maybe Hyde could make it a little bit challenging here. But let's not forget that last game as well, at that top lane, was a tri-lane versus tri-lane. So it should be a very, very different story now that you are going back to dual lanes.
Yeah, it should be a bit more stable for Jackie. It really depends on his support partner as well. Although, Masaros?
He's in a bit of trouble. He's just going to cop some harass, and the toss back onto Dreamer Cell is going to allow it so they can get some more trade onto him, and Dreamer Cell might actually be dead. Q is going to get some body blocks off. Dreamer Cell's going to have to turn around, and Masaros will get the kill before he does die. He claims the first blood. A very close call, and they might even get Kescued on the AA.
Ooh. Yeah, that's good punishment here from MG.Trust. They don't even maintain the tri-lane, they just split it up. So you drag your support up top. This lane start for Dreamo Cell not going to be fun. You drop once. CK is a snowball-based hero. You want to get as much as possible. He is getting a lot of EXP, but, Masaros is going to make that a difficult one. And, of course, Q, once you get that level 2 Avalanche Toss, it's going to be another thing you're going to have to contend with as the CK. So it's not going to get easy as time goes on. Kescute has to work some magic on the AA to force some good spacing out here.
Some stun out from Dreamer Cell. Have a look into that mid lane. Fearless and Makoto going at it. Make the argument Makoto should still have a decent advantage on this Batrider in this mid lane. So once you get to that level 2, level 3 mark, you can make the dive onto Fearless, and there is really not much he can do about it. Could try and opt to go for the Ghost Walk. That might be able to save him, but I'll see how it does pan out. Makoto hasn't really stood up the Firefly. Maybe just thinking about whether he does want the Flame Break instead, because you can dominate the lane that way as well. He's actually going to go on to Fearless now. Fearless trying to fight back. Makoto definitely wants the level 3 mark first.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit more, but you can see how much pressure is on Fearless. He's only got 3 last hits, about half a wave behind Mikoto, so not the best of starts for the Invoker. Going to have to see if the supports get the change hat, and you look up top. Of course, it's Boom Bell along with Jackie. So the Snap PL up against the Phoenix and the Pangolier. It's been pretty smooth sailing for Jackie. 10-2, not really being forced back too much from this duo. All that the Pango and Phoenix want is EXP at this point. So Hyde is just going to contest those bolts and try to constantly build up. But this slower start is going to favor Jackie. Like the PL gets a smooth ramp up. Might get some good timings here.
Yep. Bit of a chase here onto Hyde. FBZ going to be there to interrupt the chase from Boombill if necessary, but he wants the small camp as bot lane. Masaros going to be able to pick up his second kill of the game. Once again onto Kezcute. Is not having a very, very nice time at all.
No, MG.Trust playing that lane perfectly though, applying that pressure you want on that dude. The AA just doesn't give you as much as you'd expect in Dreamocell. He does not have Reality Rift, so you can't play with that cold feet combo because you don't have a way of just keeping them cold. You rely on the RNG here.
Oh, Makoto does mess up in the mid lane. Nice play out from Fearless. He was getting dived underneath that tier 1 tower. Fearless does cold snap him and Ghost Walk away, and then turns back around to get some damage into the Batrider. That's what you were worried about, right? Like the Ghost Walk. You do need to be a little bit cautious about that. Meanwhile, bot lane, Kezcute gonna fall very low again. Dreamistle's trying to go on to Masaros, but Kezcute looks like he is gonna be able to survive and does salve up in the tree line.
Yeah, it's still a good time for MG.Trust. Like, forcing that regen out on the support instead means Dreamocell has less room to work with. Is just about to hit level 4, so he can get a little bit more damage off with his skills, but the potency of this duo, it's really not coming out anymore. I think they're going to have to play it safe, just build towards that Midas and just focus on that early farm.
Jackie, top lane, going to cop a swashbuckle there from FBZ. Cookie, out from Hyde. Might try for this chase. No, the Icarus dive will be enough. Now Jackie will have to try and walk his way back to the creeps, but he is going to take a fair bit of harass on the way out. And FBZ actually wants to keep going for this Jackie. He doesn't have Doppel for another 4. But they don't have the follow-up. They'll leave Jackie to salve up in the tree line.
Yeah, it's still a good amount of pressure, and FBZ is slightly behind in last hits, but he has caught up. Jackie just has to play it safe, although.
They do go for the cookie, FBZ. He's definitely going to die, trying to go back onto Boombill, but well, they do get it eventually. Still, a great kill there for Jackie on this PL. He'll be more than happy with that.
Yeah, it's a nice boon, and MG.Trust start the game 2-5, finding all the early kills. Every lane going pretty swimmingly well. This is not exactly what Boom was looking for with these matchups. I mean, I look at Mikoto, he's going to have to play in the jungle at some point. This does mean Fearless gets a nice smooth ramp up to his first few items. Keen to see what he does go for in the Evo upgrade. Looks like he might just go for that Urn build this time. No emphasis on the Sunstrike, but down the line, although down bot.
Yeah, Masaros in trouble. Kraken Shell will make it so the cold feet does not remain. And, oh, Masaros, he's going to be okay to walk out. We've seen this so many times as well with the Kraken Shell. It's just such an OP ability at level 1.
Yep, it's really a big Hail Mary save for the Tide. And now he can maintain this lane fairly well. He does pop his health, but look, he's got Rings of Regens, he's got the Soul Ring.
They toss Kezcute back in. Dreamissile trying again onto Masaros. This time the cold feet is going to freeze him up. And Dreamissile is hoping for a crit. He's not getting one yet. Can he get lucky? Stun, Reality Rift. Ooh. There you go. There's your crit. Masaros does finally die.
And that's what you're looking for. That's what we've been looking for a while from this lane. Getting that cold feet follow-up starts to enable Dreamocell. Does have the level 6 now, so it's that time where you just pop the Phantasm, farm some creep waves, farm some camps, and start to find openings, although up top.
Yeah, Hyde. Spot of danger, Jackie. He's going to be okay. Can actually turn back around onto Hyde with those illusions, but ultimately will just give up and go back to CS. He's going to make sure he keeps up with Dreamissile, as the Chaos Knight spike is going to be a lot earlier than the Phantom Lancer spike. You don't want to be caught with your pants down if you're Jackie, 15, 20 minutes into the game.
No, definitely not. Have to be a bit cautious. He is really farming well, but there is a pretty decent gap with Dreamocell, so Boom is still feeling happy, still. That is coming at the cost of the other cores. Like you can see, Mikado is hurting right now. FBZ is hurting in that initial farm. They're going to have to play catch-up with those heroes, which might mean that space will be a bit limited on the map down the line, and there's a rotation mid.
Fearless going to go for the Tornado EMP. Makoto He's going to get caught out by the avalanche toss of Q, and he's in the spot of danger. He'll Fairy Fire and actually run out of there. Kezcute was around to help out Makoto. He'll go for a lasso attempt onto Q. With that Firefly, it should be enough, and he even gets the Flame Breakout. Even top lane, Q, or rather Boombell, does end up dying to Hyde.
Yeah, these small wins are helping Boom bounce back from that initial farm deficiency. Now, they do still have to keep track of stacks. There are some good ones here for Boom. MG.Trust are not in position to punish, and if you don't really go to contest like we saw last time, expect these heroes on Boom to just suddenly have a huge influx of farm.
Q, spot out the stacks there in the triangle. Does also see the courier of Hyde and the Phoenix for that matter. Should be able to get a kill here onto Hyde as long as he has a teammate to just get that follow-up damage. They don't really have Sunstrike available, so if he does want the kill, he might have to ask Fearless to make a rotation over. And he won't bother. Just gonna give the information over that the stacks are available in that triangle. Maybe they'll try to steal it later on. He'll try back onto Makoto. Toss, not gonna be out. He gets a courier. That was a very hard toss to attempt. He was running out of invis, which is why he tried to rush it. Doesn't work out though.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate, but Mikado gonna be counting his lucky stars there. You do see FBZ up top applying pressure on the tier 1, so it's about that time in the game where you do make moves at it. You don't have the poor rotation though. It's just FBZ alone. Not quite as much movement down bot for MG.Trust. Gotta watch their towers. Don't want to bleed these too early on without the trade.
Boombell. Okay. Fearless gonna be around to help out if necessary. Interesting to note, Fearless did go for the drums build prior to going for the Midas. Because the drums will allow you to farm a bit faster as well, which is always nice. Does decide better off going that first over the straight Midas rush.
Yeah, gives him some laning presence if he wants to fight. I'm just surprised by how passive MG.Trust is. Like, again, you see that top, it's already chipped down to 500. You don't see anything bot. Like, you're not punishing the solo CK. So you're just giving the space to Dreamosel to keep farming up. Jackie is forced in the jungle already. In fact, a lot of the heroes here from MG.Trust are in that jungle. Nasurus, of course, on the tide, building up into the Hood of Defiance, into the pipe. They've got level 6s though, and they do smoke up here.
Would love to get Dreamosel. Mind you, already has that Midas up and is farming very nicely. And Dreamosel seems to have understood something is wrong, so he'll go TP up top. And it's about that time anyway to start that tier 1 tower push. It's a much farmer area of the map, or excuse me, much safer area of the map to farm. Does get the tier 1. It's just gonna park here for a bit. Get some more CS, start working to the S and Y.
MV.Trust, they need to find these kills. They need to find a trade of some sort.
Kodo goes for the Flame Break onto Q with the Ice Blast to follow up. It is a very nice Ice Blast into 2 heroes. Hyde now going back onto Q with the Icarus Dive will mean he does go down, and Boombell is probably not going to feel very safe as he does get lassoed here by Makoto, but it's not going to be quite enough to kill him yet. Boombell still making a run. Makoto's still alive, but eventually Fearless does manage to pick off the kill. It's a 2-for-1 trade, both supports of Motivate dying. Makoto, I'm not sure if he cares too much about his own life on the Batrider. He's got the boots of travel already up.
It's not the biggest loss. Like, you still take that exchange, you're boosting up your supports because they're in the AoE. So you hold on to the egg here from Hyde. You do have Rolling Thunder available as well on FBZ, and Kezcute with a good Ice Blast. If they can just keep landing that, they can slowly kind of find these simple kills, buy time for Dreamosel. He is going towards that S and Y we tend to see from him. So he's going to have durability and damage ready to go once that's up. And of course, when you've got the Midas, it's a lot faster. Jackie's not too far behind, though. He too is going for an SNY after the defusal, which is already up. So there's some potency there to fight in MG.Trust. They do smoke up as 2.
Avalanche, Makoto gets tossed up. Has help from Hyde, but Hyde does Icarus dive into the Avalanche, and well, with that, that's going to mean his own death. He will have to accept it. Fearless at least does take the Ice Blast, but it's not going to mean jack crap. Nobody is there to capitalize. Well, just some interesting plays from Boom Esports that haven't been working out in their favor.
No, it's a bit greedy to be that up front. They don't have deep wards here from Boom to keep watch of that. In fact, their wards are pretty defensive right now, which is surprising considering that they have been trying to play aggressive. So have to be aware of what information you lack on the map. Respect the movements of MG.Trust. MG.Trust, for their part, they do maintain a slight 1k net worth lead. Again, we're just waiting for Jack to be ready to go, but that early defusal does give him some leeway. We haven't seen more Ravages from Masaros. He's still been holding on, saving up for the pipe, but up top.
There we go. On to Makoto. Makoto once again. Just at that top lane. Getting picked off by Fearless and Q. Of course, Q has been very, very effective on that Tiny, just setting up for his team. He's not going to appreciate losing his life like that another time. I suppose on the positive, Dreamer Soul is still top of the net worth board and farming on that CK. But he's going to need a bit of backup. It can't just be him.
No. I mean, they're also giving room here towards FBZ. He's got his Maelstrom up. He's working towards the Guardian Greaves, which is going to give them a big durability boost. But you do need some initial farm on that bat. Like, the blink of Mikado is going to be so delayed from those 2 deaths. He doesn't have room in the jungle. I think that's the one factor here. They've given FBZ and Dreamosel the jungle, so there's not much space for Mikado to be at. And MG.Trust are on point with the punishment. That's exactly what they need to do every time they see Mikado. They understand that he is taking the riskier farm, and that is something MG.Trust can punish. They keep finding these kills, but they still have the Ravage for the bigger fights. The pipe for Masaros is flying out, so he will have added durability once more for the team. Might make it more difficult for Boom to win out in a big 5v5.
Smoke up here, Boom. We'll see if they can take a successful team fight with Dreamosel around. Fearless. Be a nice target, but Dreamosel has his smoke broken. Dreamosel has made himself very obvious, but Fearless is not moving. He does have his team behind him, and it looks like he is confident in taking a fight. MG.Trust now, they group up. But Boom Esports, not going to be willing to try and fight into them, it seems. They don't want the full team fight yet, they just want a pick-off or 2. But they are coming. The smoke is there from MG.Trust. They're going to go into that triangle. Meanwhile, Jackie and Masaros just get the T1 tower for free. Q. Avalanche toss out on Keskut, and he is going to get taken out. Fearless will take another kill on the Invoker.
And it's a big one, just getting themselves the momentum. On top of that tower pickup, you're going to be very happy if you're MG.Trust. Fearless, he's working towards the Ags. So the Cataclysm is going to be up soon. The damage that can fly out with the Ravage is going to be key for the next few engagements. Of course, Fearless also did go for the Midas build, so he is set to really just escalate, and you know, he's going to be up and running soon. That's something Boom has to be careful. They have not punished the Invoker much. 4-0 on Fearless, a fantastic start for him.
Smoke is out from Boom Esports. Boom Bell, flame break, gonna connect. In fact, the Rift is gonna be there from Dreamosel, and it looks like Boom Bell will drop. The rest of Motivate.Trust not too interested in helping out. So Fearless will have to be a little bit cautious there down at that bot lane. He did cop the Ice Blast, but he'll be out in time. But Motivate, they are still going to hold the 2k net worth lead. So, I mean, there's no need to panic for them yet. Jackie's still got heaps of space and, for mid lane. they're not going to be able to go into MG.Trust. They're just fine.
Yeah, Q is trying to really leverage that blink. He's been trying to find those openings. A bit too slippery there on the Bat Rider, but you've got this S and Y now up in Jackie, so both of our cores at very similar farm points. You know, S and Y and Dreamersall, S and Y and Jackie. It's really down to who wants to start fighting. We talked about the CK wanting to fight earlier, and that is true. But they're just not finding those openings. And it feels like Dreamersall might want to wait out his BKB next to ensure that the Ravage and the Tiny and the Invoker don't affect him too much. But that might leave just too much time here for Jackie to keep farming up. RPL's farm has been uncontested. He's 1-0. He hasn't been picked off. And he's just been left alone. He's just basically free farm.
Asteros mid lane. They're going to get the Rift off with the Ice Blast and the Lasso. They throw everything at Masteros to make sure he does die. They will be able to get him. And now with that Tide gone, it seems like they are going to be confident enough to try and make a T1 mid push happen.
Yeah, they've got the room. There is a defense though from MG.Trust. They're kind of posturing.
I don't see them initiating without the Tide. It's like Masteros is going to be up in 10 seconds anyway, so they're not going to have quite enough time. Now, they are indeed now going to back off. Dreamersall, he does have the S&Y, but wants to work towards that BKB. Just not 100% confident yet they can take on the full side of Motivate.Trust, but you look at Jackie. He is still pulling ahead on that PO, and that's going to be some source of concern here for Dreamersall if he's not too careful. FBZ. Try and swashbuckle through the tree line, but Q seems to know he's around there somewhere, but goes the wrong way.
Ooh, yeah. Dicey spot, but you can see MG.Trust grouping up for the push. This is something Boom does not want to let go of, otherwise they lose that bot jungle.
T2 tower's not going to last long, but Boom Esports, they're going to try and go for a Roshan play. This might be the way to do it, just accept the fact that you might not be able to defend, and instead, go for the quick Roshan, see if you can pull that off. And, well, they are pulling it off, but the Mortimer's Kisses are going to fly in from Boom Bell now, and that's going to make it so they have to disperse. But they'll smoke up. They've got a DD on Dreamersall. They wouldn't mind taking a team fight right now. And that Roshan is not going to last very long. Motivate.Trust, they need to make a decision. Do they want to fight or do they want to leave it? Asteros, thinking about it, but no, it's too late. They're waiting for the Ags on Fearless, and now they're going to try for the fight anyway. Q jumps in for an avalanche toss. Dreamersall going to be just fine to walk out, and now it's back onto Masteros, who gets rifted onto the high ground. But there's your Tornado EMP flying through, but Masteros, he is going to go down without committing the Ravage. Kodo looking to go in, but Cataclysm is out from Alboka. It's just not enough, and now Dreamersall feels confident. He wants to go for the fight. He is kind of out of mana, however. Looks like that's going to be it. A 1-for-1. Makoto being traded for Masteros, but Q wants to go for another toss back onto Dreamersall, who still has no mana and has been left. They are not going to try and protect him. He'll lose the Aegis. Now FBZ can't put up with the damage from Jackie, might also tie. So his illusions continue to chase him down, and Fearless will have the follow-up damage. An avalanche toss once in from Q. Fearless does die on the Invoker, but they will lose Kescute, and Dreamersall is still not necessarily safe. They do want to keep trying to make the chase happen. Looks like they aren't really going to be able to keep up.
It's a really messy fight for Boom, not quite how they'd want it to go. It's also not the cleanest execution from MG.Trust. You would want to combine that Cataclysm with a Ravage. Unfortunately, not quite how it lines up. So Boom, immediately losing the Aegis, still in an okay spot. 3k behind, not comfy. But that BKB for Dreamersall is going to really set the pace. He's going to have it soon, and once you've got that, you are a lot safer on that CK. You can really force those fights in. maybe start to really hunt down the PL. And Jackie, for his part, is actually going for a blink. So he wants to be much more slippery on the PL, wants to be able to weave in and out. We'll see if that pays off. Or actually, no, he's finishing the Scotty. Oops.
Yes, Scotty going to be pretty nice for him. They don't seem to have a way to get through Jackie here. I think the idea was that they would deal with Jackie through FBZ, and you can see he does have the Maelstrom up to try and get through the illusions, but with that Scotty coming out very, very soon, they probably aren't going to have enough damage just through the Maelstrom. Even the Mjolnir, if it did come out on the Pango, probably wouldn't be enough. Jackie's approaching that point. It's a late game PL.
Yeah, you don't have the Morphling matchup. You don't have the Tide with you, so wave clear there is very difficult. You're basically depending on FBZ entirely, and his farm has slowed him down.
Nice avalanche. Makoto going for a lasso onto Fearless, but it's not going to help as Jackie does come in for another easy kill onto our Batrider. And MG.Trust, it might be about that time where they want to try and make a tier 2 push happen. They'll go into the mid lane.
Yeah, they've got all their spells up. Everything that they need is ready, except for the creep wave, but it's going to be there soon. And you can see, I mean, they've been holding on to the Ravage. Masaros does have it next. Cataclysm's ready to go, so it's hard for Boom to fight in. They're going to have to just wait at the high ground.
Yeah, they'll just let it go. Dreamersaur is taking this time to just keep farming up, as there is no point in trying for the defense, and he's going to go for an AC. Because that AC is going to make it very, very good for his team, right? Because once their mana's up, that bonus armor is going to make it so Jackie can't really hit them quite as hard. Obviously works very effectively with the illusion spam as well from this PL. Question is, how fast can he get it up? Jackie does get rifted, does get stunned. Still surely walks out of here. He is low. But his team is coming in now with the Tornado, but Dreamersaur is going to pop the BKB, but Jackie's going to be cooking out. And that'll be a 10-second charge on Dreamersaur going to waste. They'll still try to chase FBZ, but no. He's going to back off now, and MG.Trust, they're going to counter smoke. Q in with the Avalanche, looking for the toss back opportunity, but doesn't have anyone nearby. Finally does get it off, but it is straight up. FBZ still trying to run. Masaros got that Ravage with the Blink Dagger, looking for an opportunity, but won't get it yet. They'll force out the egg, they'll get FBZ. Leave it at that for now, but Masaros still moving forward, does go for a Ravage, it does connect on 2 with the Cataclysm to fly in. Dreamersaur's going to try and fight back, but he really can't. Not into the whole side of MG.Trust. They do lose Hyde.
It's a big win for MG.Trust. Opens up that shove up top, so going to be the tier 1, maybe some chip damage in the tier 2, and that's the combo. Ravage Kata, really difficult for Boom to play into, although it didn't feel as explosive as you'd expect, so maybe lacking a bit more. No, it's actually Max Sword, so probably just 2 tick on the heroes from Boom. Still a nice jump in for MG.Trust. Widening the lead to 7k, 11-16. They're really starting to take over. That late game PL coming into effect here, Mike. Satanic can be next, so the stat resist can be up. Gonna have more options to keep the fight up, tanking up the solutions as well. And Boom, they just need so much more. The biggest factor here is Mikado's farm is just not good. Like, he's got Blink travels, and that has been it for a long time. He too needs a BKB, and they're trying to save up for that. Once you have that on your bat, I think you're a lot better off, although.
Mid lane, FBZ, will be okay. Masaros going to take a lot of damage out from Dreamersaur, but Masaros will survive. They'll hold on to that 9k net worth lead for now. It's Boom Esports, once again, not really wanting to go for a big fight yet. Needing a bit more on Dreamersaur to feel confident, but they've got to be wary that they are coming. MG.Trust, Ravage does come in from Masaros from the back lines. They do blow up Kescute. Dreamersaur now just trying to run away from Masaros and avoid any further fighting. But Masaros is keeping tabs. Dreamersaur still on the run. Gonna run into each other, but Masaros eventually just blinks out. Seems like he wanted to try for the Phoenix rather than the CK. They will continue to just control the map.
Yeah, it's getting difficult for Boom to find openings here. Their team fight is just, it's not very synergistic. Like we talked about it, but there's no natural egg combo. It's basically single target with a lasso. Rolling Thunder has nothing to keep them locked in as well. And now you've got this Linken's up on Fearless. So if you wanted to dive him and get the lasso off on him, you're going to have to break that first. And it's not very easy for the side of Boom to get that done. So it gets harder and harder as MG.Trust continue to build up. The BKB is up on Mikado. That might allow them some opportunities, but they're eyeing Dreamocell.
No, Dreamersaur can't really afford to die. He is very, very deep, and he is going to be surrounded. He'll BKB TP out of there, and they will actually not have a way to cancel. Nice played out from Dreamersaur, just making sure he can get out of there safely. Still, you don't really want to waste that BKB charge like that, but he really doesn't have any choice. He's just so desperate for the gold for that AC. In fact, sorry, the Silver Edge now.
It's difficult. Now they can still catch up with the Midas, and they do slowly just naturally shove the mid-tier 1, but if you look at MG.Trust, they just don't relent. They've got some nice wards in that triangle.
They do. Boombill gonna get caught. Masaros doesn't have the Ravage. Boombill gonna try and force Stomp out and the Cookie, but the 12 from FBZ is out, and now Masaros gonna get lassoed up, but it will be cancelled by the Kraken shell. Boombill did bite back. They really want to fight this MG.Trust. Tornado gonna be out onto the CK. Jackie trying to get around the CK and does, and Dreamersaur is taking way too much damage. He'll have the BKB up, but it may not help. They will get past, and yeah, they do get the kill. Hyde will also go down now on the Phoenix, and Jackie might just be too far ahead to come back from.
It's a hard prospect. They do have the egg ready under Phoenix. They've got a buyback ready on Dreamersaur, but they don't have anything else. There's going to be a lot that has to line up here, and MG.Trust, again, they've just got so much more room to play. Ravage still stands. Cat is ready to go. It's hard.
It's going to be a bit of an ice blast out. Have a repair kit that's going to definitely help them delay things. MG.Trust not wanting to leave before they get at least the T1, and they know that the CK is still down, but a great Ravage and toss out with the Cataclysm to fly in from Fearless and Makoto. Well, they do get the egg on Hyde. They'll leave Makoto on the Batrider. Buybacks are out from FBZ with the Rolling Thunder. And Dreamersaur is still holding on to his own buyback, waiting for the respawn. Well, on the brighter side, they only lost the Tier 3 tower.
Yeah, it's not the biggest objective, but it still puts you at a really bad spot here. 15k lead for MG.Trust. They get to spot off the Roche as well, so they're going to have the advantage in the pit. Aegis and Cheese for them to take, but Boom, looks like they're aware of something here.
Well, Avalanche, toss, Q, back into Boombill and Makoto. Once again, going to go down. They can't really afford to let that the Roshan go the way of MG.Trust, but they may have no choice in the matter.
No. Their best chance is really to wrap the lasso in with a Firefly, but you could try with FBZ. He's way too far out. Not worth the risk. So MG.Trust, now Aegis and Cheese going to be on their side. More freedom to take the high ground as they please. And Boom, they need to find a way to make this draft work. They just need to find a way to get Hyde's egg off every time, to get the Rolling Thunder perfectly, to have the Ice Blast on top. So many things have to line up. It's a very challenging prospect, MG.Trust, and they just keep building up. The lead widens. You had the Satanic up on Jackie, so it's harder to pin that guy down in PL. And I don't know what Boom has to get done. Like, It's very difficult. Everyone on MG.Trust is just so tanky and so big now.
They are. Avalanche toss out with the Sunstrike to fly in, but Kescute is going to survive. But Masaros gets in there with the Gush and Anchor Smash. The FBZ going to go for a Rolling Thunder back onto Masaros, and they have brought back on the AA. Masaros going to get hit by the Ice Blast and does eventually die. Q was lassoed. Does go for an Avalanche toss. He is still in trouble. So they are completely alone here on MG.Trust. And they're going to lose 2 for really nothing.
Yeah, it's a good play from Boom. I guess that's one way to bounce back. If MG.Trust does not want to back these heroes up, you just keep killing them off, and you will eventually scrape some gold back. Unfortunate for MG.Trust. I'm surprised they didn't run in. Like, Fearless level 21 could have tried to make some plays. You've got Jackie, who's really big. They were only really by that medium camp in the mid lane, so it wasn't too far out. But Boom, they're gonna take it. They stay in the game. Still a 20k lead for MG.Trust. There's a lot more to build into. Dreamocell queuing up the heart next, and try to tank up in the CK and try to become uncontrollable as well. That will eat into his potential damage a tad, but I guess Jackie as well. No, actually, Jackie does have the Ags up, so it's a lot easier for him to run around, and this is peak PL play. Level 25 talent with the Doppel. I mean, how are you going to lock this guy down?
You probably can't. Dreamcell's just trying to work towards that heart and finish that off. MG.Trust, this is their time to go. I mean, they've still got a 20k lead. Boom Esports, they are desperate to find any form of farm, but this is the time, if you're MG.Trust, to try and go high ground. They're going to give it a crack. The repair kits will make it annoying, but you can still get through it. You do have your heart now up on Dreamcell, but he does not have buyback gold. So one more death on Dreamcell might just be the end of the game. For now, Jackie is just going to focus in on that mid-racks. And Lasso is going to catch out one, but where's the follow-up? Fearless, he'll be fine to just BKB up now. Jackie, he's going to go on the back lines, onto Hyde. Back in onto Kescute, trying to get rid of the AA, and that'll be one dieback. Now onto Makoto. Dreamcell trying to get a stun, but there's your Ravage out with the Cataclysm to fly in. And now the toss-up. Dreamcell, he is low and he is gone. And that's it, they've called it. GG's been called. Boom Esports, they know they can't fight back. Jackie's out of control. Motivate, they do manage to get a draw in this series.
Yeah, it's a massive one for them to turn around. Pretty much a flip of that last game. Really taking over with Jackie's PL, having the confidence there. Masaro's back in the tide, getting the work done. And Boom, they tried something a little bit different. I mean, they went back to the Dream Assault CK. Doesn't pay off. Their combinations with the Phoenix Egg were too hard to pull off and kind of faltered. So a bit of a drafting error, I feel. But Motivate.Trust can be happy with the draw. And that's one pretty explosive way to close out that. What is this? The 7th day, Mike.
Yeah, we actually have gone past 7 days now. It's kind of insane. That is it for tonight, however. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow for some more great BTS Pro Series Season 3. And speaking of, John, in 2 days, so not tomorrow, but the next day, we have our Among Us vs. Fnatic matchup that we wanted to see.
Oh, boy.
So the grudge match will be on the day after tomorrow, so Sunday. But for now, I suppose we'll see you again tomorrow afternoon. It's MLP Johnxfire, and we'll see you then.